Welcome to Witchcast!
Cause it's Witchcast!
I'm Emily.
I'm Kate.
And we're your co-hosts of this, the Witchcast podcast.
That's right. We're your learning and growing, ever-evolving novice witches here to explore everything under the woo-woo, esoteric, witchy umbrella.
Oh, and what a beautiful umbrella it is. And just on time for these March showers, which will surely bring April showers, which will ideally eventually bring May flowers? Is that how that works?
I think that's exactly the saying. I think,
Yeah,
I see that on Hallmark cards all the time.
At the very least, it is officially spring now, which is
Yay!
huge.
Springtime.
Are we in Aries season also?
We are in Aries season.
Oh, you know who would be great to answer that is our very special guest that we have today.
Yes, we have an amazing guest, an old friend of the podcast. We love her so much, and hopefully you know her and love her too. She's a tarot reader and a witch. Please welcome Sutton Crawford.
Yay!
Hooray!
Yay!
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh my
Thanks
God,
for being here.
So happy to have you. So
Yeah.
thrilled. It's been way too long.
It has been a while. We were talking about the fact that the last time I was with you guys, the election was called for Joe Biden, and we're living in a
like
different
while we were talking.
time. Exactly, while we were talking.
Alternate
And now
timeline.
here we are. Hopefully, us talking right now eventually.
Yeah, brings in
Bring it
more
back.
good energy again. Hopeful, exciting energy.
Yes, we'll bring the tower card to fruition, and we can start anew.
Yes, I'm very pro tower energy right now. So, well, there's so much we need to catch up on, but since we did talk about Aries season, tell us, because I love watching your content on social. I love your videos, and I feel like you are great at really making things digestible and accessible for all audiences.
Thank you.
Yeah. What are your thoughts right now on the current astrological season? We're in Aries season. We're just like towards the end of eclipse season, you said.
Yes.
What's going on?
It is rough. I mean, it's wild because, there's the kind of astrological pattern of the year 2025. And then
Yes.
March itself had its own kind of astrological calendar. We're almost at the end of this eclipse season, which ends on the 29th with a solar eclipse in Aries. Everything pretty much is in Aries right now. And the solar eclipse in Aries is it's a set of 3. So we're at the 3rd, and it kind of is bringing up what happened to you in April of 2023. And frankly, I was like, what was happening to me in April of 2023? So I was like, okay, I'm going to go look at my pictures to see where I was in April of 2023. Yeah. And I invite everybody to go ahead and do that, because what we're kind of doing is ending a cycle that started then, and it comes to an ending on the 29th with this solar eclipse. And then the wild thing is that the very next day, Neptune moves from Pisces into Aries as well. And remembering that Neptune is the illusion planet, the dream planet, and how we're perceiving illusions, right? And so it's moving from Pisces into Aries. And this is very much about blazing a new trail and how we perceive what we want our future to look like, frankly. I know.
Future, who's her?
Who's she? She's cute. I hope she's cute.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so it's funny because, as much as politics is on everybody's, or should be on everybody's radar at the moment, astrologically speaking, it is bringing all of this to the surface, right? Venus is retrograde, Mercury is retrograde. We're in eclipse season. Neptune moves. It's a big old mess.
It's the time of year where you should be checking your group chats to make sure you haven't accidentally added the person you want to talk shit about or anything like that.
100%. Or maybe you do. I mean, with Venus in retrograde, maybe you need to confront these people once and for all, frankly.
Yeah. Burn it down, baby.
Burn it all down. Burn it all down.
I remind everyone that this podcast is for entertainment purposes only.
I love astrology so much, and thank you for breaking this down for us. That was such an easy way to understand it all. I think it's so funny because I knew some of this stuff was coming up, but then I forget. And then I'm like, why am I having such a hard time? And then I feel like it almost validates. I like look back and I'm like, oh yeah, like physically, mentally, emotionally, I've been going through it. It's not just me, like it's the planets. It feels very validating.
Totally. Totally. And I really appreciate you saying the accessibility of my work and how I talk about specifically tarot, because that is my goal. I'm like, I want to make it as accessible as humanly possible. I don't want it to feel, I mean, there's good gatekeepers and there are bad gatekeepers. I don't want it to feel negatively gatekeepy, right? I want everybody to be able to understand the tarot, because I really believe that it is, I mean, it's a tap into the human condition, and it lets you be a more active participant in your life. And I feel like it's a tool that everybody should know and use. So like, let's take the veil off of it, right? Try anyway.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah,
compliment.
totally. Yeah.
So
I
tell
feel
us,
you-
like,
oh, go ahead. Sorry, Kate.
No. Continue.
I feel like
on.
we're gonna ask the same stuff.
We
You go
are.
for
We're
it.
always on the same page. No. You go first.
All right, so I was gonna say, I mean, it's been 4+ years since the last time we had you on, which is crazy because I feel like every few weeks we're like, oh, maybe we should ask Sutton to be on, but we're like, oh, we just had her. I think. I think maybe we spend so much time collectively watching your social media that it feels like we're talking to you all the time.
Yes.
Thanks.
But thank you for coming back. How has your practice changed over the last 4 years? What's going on with you in your witchy life right now?
I mean, kind of a lot of things. My business has been booming, if I can say that.
Congratulations.
I know. Thank you. It's kind of become my main source of income.
Amazing.
Entirely my main source of income, pretty much. So I'm giving readings sometimes 3 to 4 times a day, which has been amazing. But on a practice level, I guess one of the things, full disclosure, I'm 9 months sober. And
hey, congratulations.
Thank you. And that has been a big deal. And it really has tied in with my witchcraft practice and my magical practice, only because it's made me more aware and more clear-headed. And I'm not trying to stamp down all of the things that I couldn't deal with before.
What are you talking about? I don't know
alcohol. I know. And then I've been doing a lot of work with deity work recently. So I've decided to adopt Hecate into my life and have her kind of be my main source of strength currently. So that's been fun, and I've kind of been obsessed with giving myself over to her as my deity. So that's the most recent change.
That's so fun. Okay.
Love it. Love
What are
Hecate.
your resources on that? Where are you getting what are you part of a group? Are you reading stuff? Are you what are some favorite things if other people want to get into Hecate?
Deity work?
Yeah, deity work. My favorite book that I'm reading right now is called Entering Hecate's Cave. I have it right here actually because I was reading it before you guys arrived.
Spectacular.
I was like, that's so dirty. I'm such a dirty mind.
Yes.
Her cave.
Yes. Enter her cave, honey. It's called The Journey Through Darkness to Wholeness, and it's by Cindy Brannon, and I'm really obsessed with it. Cool. So that's what she has, or they have a large collection of information and resources and website, and one of the, I believe her website's called Keeping Her Keys. And so that's a really great book if anybody's interested in that.
Oh, awesome. We'll definitely link it on our website for people to check out.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love that. And how did you, I love, one of the things I love about witchcraft and, this world in general is, getting to choose your deity. So how did you decide Hecate?
Yeah.
It's funny because when I first feel like I came out of the broom closet, as I like to say it, right, is I had been seeing social media posts about people who had like dedicated themselves to a deity, and there's one person in particular who dedicated themselves to Aphrodite. And I immediately started following them, and I was like, this is fascinating. I would never do that. I thought to myself, I was like, it doesn't seem, I don't know. It's no judgment. Like it's not my vibe. Right. And then I was like, I gotta do that. And so picking one, my gosh, she just kept coming to me. And I think that the biggest thing, I'm obsessed with synchronicities, right? As we all are. And so one of the first objects I found was a key. And when I found it, right, it's sitting on my altar right now, but it's a skeleton key. And I found it in one of my like most favorite places in Pennsylvania called Mount Gretna. And I was walking, it's like a little fairy village. It's the coolest thing ever. But
shout out to Mount Gretna.
Yeah, shout out to Mount Gretna. Don't go there. It's terrible. That's actually to say, don't go there because it's so cool.
It's gross there.
It's terrible.
I was about to be like, road trip.
No, I know. We can go. Okay. No, so yeah, I found this key and it's beautiful. And I knew it was a synchronicity. I was like, oh, this is the key to unlocking more of an understanding into my practice and all these things. And then come to find, as I'm studying her, that like she's the keeper of the keys. And so my initial reaction to finding the key was correct. And yet I was like, oh my gosh, she sent me the key. That's why I found the key. And then I'm obsessed with birds. I'm a total bird nerd. And she has total...
You and me both, friend.
Right? And she has total avian allies. Like she is the hawk goddess. And so I was like, this is the person this is the deity that I associate the most with. And of course she is the goddess of witchcraft, so it doesn't get much better than that. But finding one, I mean, it's really about like, what are you connected to? Are you connected to the shadow part? Are you connected to the light part? Are you more attracted to spring? Are you more attracted to the winter? Like there's all these different times and objects and things that you can look into, right? Like if you're really attracted to spring, Persephone might be your gal, right? Like or if you love chaos, maybe you're going to talk to Loki, you know what I mean? And I was like, maybe Loki needs to be another one of mine. But anyway, that's all to say that like I paid a lot of attention to the synchronicities that I was kind of receiving, and then was like, she's my gal. That's where I'm going. But
love.
It's pretty standard. I mean, like the goddess of witchcraft, like, let's go.
No, it's so good. I love hearing people's journey, especially when working with a specific deity. I think it's such a individualized like process. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So cool.
So cool. So you are giving readings like multiple times a day. Tell us, let's I want to talk a bit more about your tarot practice. What is that like? Like, how has that evolved over time? How many decks do you have? Like,
oh god,
give us your war stories.
Yes, I'm gonna tell my husband not to listen to the amount of decks that I have collected. I think I'm currently at like 45.
Wow.
I was totally expecting like 15.
Oh god, I was like, is that a lot? That's not a lot, right? No, I think I have about
45 decks.
Yeah, I have about 45.
Now I don't feel so bad about how many. I only have like 12, so I have a ways to go.
No, yeah, you've got plenty of time.
Yeah, you're still growing your collection.
Exactly, you've got plenty of time. I have quite a few. I try to make sure that when I am buying a deck that it is indie, right? Like I am buying it from the supplier. I am not buying it on Amazon. My God, don't do that. For so many reasons, but also do not buy occult stuff on Amazon. Like do not do
Nothing less witchy than supporting deck-based.
Exactly. And you know, the thing with tarot decks is that a lot of people reprint them and then sell them at a cheaper price. So I try. It's terrible. It's a terrible, weird thing. And then like, I can't even go into the politics of that. So
capitalism.
I know, right? So I've been trying to always support indie deck creators, but when it started, I created my own spread, And it is based off of a past, present, future, mind, body, spirit situation. And it's not exactly the creation of my own spread, but it is intuitively what I just started doing for people in my hour-longs. And then through the years since I started my business, I've been adding more spreads. I do a birthday spread. I do a spread for couples if they decide to come together and have their cards read together. I offer a Samhain Halloween spread. I offer, one of my most popular is the year ahead. So it's 12 cards in the wheel of the year, and you get a card for each month. Good God. At this point, it does feel like a year in a month.
Right.
Seriously.
Hopefully that changes at some point. But yeah, so that's one of my hour long and my year ahead are probably the most popular spreads that I do. And I just love it.
It's amazing. Do you switch up like what decks you use based on like the client and the ask and the vibe that they, or do you have like your go-to decks, or do you have any decks also that you only use for yourself?
Oh, that's a really good question. Yeah. So is there any decks that I only use for myself? There are decks I don't use, unfortunately. There are some that have just been sitting in there. Some of it has to do with the fact that I don't like the card stock. I am such a card stock, like, diva. I prefer, because I'm a riffle shuffler. So it's like goes into the bridge, right? And so anything that has a really hard card stock, I'm really turned off by. I like a playing card stock. So I have certain decks that just kind of sit in my cabinet, and I just thought they were beautiful. And then there's a couple that just keep getting cycled. And then there's like the 3 like super standard ones that I know I can always use. And then there's some that like if I'm doing an event or like a party, I'm more drawn to bring. And it really is interesting, the art on the front or the back, whatever you would say, like not the images of the cards. The other side, people are drawn to the lighter stuff, right? Like they are drawn to the more colorful. They are kind of fearful of the darker cards. And that's, again, why I try and make tarot accessible, because no one should be afraid of it, right? Mm-hmm. And so many people are so afraid of it.
So scared.
Yeah, like very scared. It's like, no, it's just a tool to help you like be more conscious in your life and make decisions and all of those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know. I feel like anytime I do a reading, if it's like when we were doing the like event and stuff like that, or even just for friends, I'll like the first question I ask is like, have you had a tarot reading before? Like, how much do you know about tarot? Because I'll give people the spiel, like, hey, the death card doesn't mean anyone's gonna die. Like,
I just had an experience with that, speaking of a war story. And I like, not to like, client confidentiality, but at an event, somebody was like, I'm afraid you're gonna tell me I'm gonna die. And I know, I was like, are you sure you want to do this? You don't have to do this.
Yeah, no one's forcing you.
No one is forcing you. She's like, no, I want to do it. And I pulled the death card. So, haha. Which of course I guffawed and laughed about. And she was horrified. She's like, it's not funny. And I was like, no, it is funny. I was like, don't you see how magical that is? That you literally just said, I'm afraid of this thing, and then that's the thing you got. I was like, this is magic. And she might not have agreed as much.
I love when cards have a sense of humor. They
love it.
I love it. It's so funny. I would have cackled too.
Yeah.
That poor woman.
I know. I feel so bad. Hopefully she hears this and is like, I still think about you, lady from this event. Yeah, no, the 2 of Swords to me is probably one of the biggest giggle cards for me. Because if somebody comes to me, I just am always like, oh, goddess, you're so funny. Source, you're so cheeky. Because if somebody comes to me and they're like, and we'll talk about the meaning of the Two of Swords just in case anybody doesn't know. But like if somebody comes to me and they have a question about like, should I do this or should I do that? Or should I leave my job or whatever it is? And then the Two of Swords shows up. I'm like, I don't know. What do you think? Basically.
Yeah.
You have to decide, right? Because that's what the Two of Swords is about cutting the blindfold off, right? To the things that maybe you're like, oh, if I just ignore this, it'll go away. And it's like, it's not going to go away, right? So cut the blindfold off. You're in charge of your mind, swords being an analytical, logical card, the suit of swords, and weighing your options, right? You could do this or you could do that, right? Which one feels right to you? And I have been pretty obsessed with, because when you look at the imagery of the Two of Swords, there's often a body of water in it. And so I've been really trying to pick apart this idea of because intuition is not linked to swords. It is linked to cups, right?
Right.
But water is linked to intuition. So with the Two of Swords, I'm always trying to tease out the idea that if this is a intuitive feeling that then becomes a thought, how does your ego or your brain not clash swords with what the intuitive thought became, right? How can we trust the intuitive part of you that became a thought that says, oh God, I got to leave that job, and then not have your brain be like, yeah, but you need money, and well, we all need money, but like you can't do that, and blah, blah, blah. Right? How do we marry those two things? How do they become one instead of clashing with each other? So
I love that.
The Two of Swords cracks me up. I don't know. What do you think? What are you going to do about it? What do you want to do?
It's true. Like, if it isn't the card of making a decision.
I mean, truly. And it's like, I'm not going to tell you. Sorry.
Yeah.
The goddess is like, nope. So what do you think?
The answer is, you got to figure it out.
Yeah. I always tell people that, like, honestly, I've never experienced tarot telling you straight up, yes, do this one thing or don't do another thing. Like, it usually, in my experience, will lay out, here's what could unfold, or here's things to consider, here's things to think about. But I've never had a reading be like straight up like, oh, you must do this. Like, maybe there's things to like be aware of, but you're very much an agent of your own life. Like, they are never going to say like, well, if you go this way, it's going to be really bad.
No.
If only life was that easy. Like,
I
mean,
have
seriously.
done like one or two readings that was like, it was like, stepping back, it probably was saying, don't do that. And then I did it anyway, and I shouldn't have.
Yes. Well, I do think, in that case, yes, I do think there are times when
Wrong path. This
the
will
cards
be difficult.
Yeah. No, today so I also offer 3-card polls over video messages, which are really nice, because if you don't want to sit over Zoom, or you don't want to come in person, or you like are scared or whatever, right, you can just get a little magic in your inbox. But somebody asked me about a choice that they had to make, and they gave me no other information. And this was the first time where I've like very confidently was like, whatever it is, you're supposed to do it, right? Like, it was the Ace of Wands, the Chariot, and the World. And I was like, this cycle is done. Whatever the choice is that you are like the new inspiration to do something different and to find a success point, like, you're supposed to go for it. And I'm always like, you take it with a grain of salt, right?
Right.
You have to trust your instincts, but like, yes, the answer is yes, you're supposed to do it. I was like, whoa, that was like very loud and clear. So that was funny.
I love when they yell at you too. Yeah, that's so
They're so
fun.
sassy sometimes.
They're so sassy.
Yeah.
I love your description of the Two of Swords, by the way. I was like, I feel like that it's almost like you're describing cognitive dissonance as a card. You know what I mean? I love that. But I do also think that a lot of times tarot, maybe, again, I'm just speaking from personal experience and mostly my own readings, is that tarot, if you already know the answers, tarot's not going to tell you anything you already don't know.
Oh, 100%.
So many times I think we go to tarot, or I go to tarot wanting to hear something different or wanting an excuse or validation for my bad behavior or poor choices. And they're like, no, you know exactly what you're doing. You know exactly what you're asking. You have all the answers. Why are you asking us?
Yes.
And they just read me to filth anyway. And I
yes,
love that.
they love doing that. They love doing that. And a lot of times not all the time, but there are sessions I'll have where somebody was like, I was already thinking all of that, but it was nice to have someone outside of me reflect it back at me. And I was like, that's their greatest superpower as a divination tool is that they literally do pick out of the querent's brain what it is that they want to talk about and just illuminate it through a different medium or a different, like through images. I mean, through pictures. And it's great. Active participation in your own life through cards. Yay.
Yeah. It's magical therapy.
I like to call it therapy sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
title of the episode, baby.
Yes,
I'm writing it
I
down.
thought the same thing. Write it down. I had to ask you some advice because Emily and I did just recently do professional readings for like the first time ever.
Yes.
And it was such a great experience. We both really enjoyed it. I did have a couple readings. We just were doing quick 3-card readings at this pop-up event. And one of them in particular, quite a few stand out, but one is a woman came to me asking about her relationship. So I did a 3-card relationship spread where it's like the first card was her, the middle card was the relationship, and the third card was the partner. And I don't ask for any details because I try not to let my bias come in. And, as we're still both learning tarot, I was like, I just want to come into like all the possible interpretations and here's what I'm getting and whatever. But it was definitely felt like the cards, I can't remember specifically what they were. It was definitely very clearly felt like there was like the guy was over, the partner was over it. Like it was done. He was done. He was exhausted, or like it was a tough read to give her. And she seemed so sad to hear that. She didn't say anything back. She didn't complain. But I'm like, oh, when you get a reading like that where, especially when it comes to something about a relationship or a job and the querent is very like hopeful and the cards are not positive, like what's your advice with those kind of readings?
Oh my God, that's a good question. I mean, I do say to all my clients, I'm usually like, I am not a love and light witch, but I'm a pretty positive tarot card reader. So because I don't read reversals, I do not read reversals. I find that your intuition will guide you to whether it should be like a reversed idea or a right side up idea, and that the card contains all of that meaning inside of itself. And the minute I said to my cards, I'm not reading reversals, they rarely come in reversed. Like they just
That's great.
But oh gosh, challenging stuff. I mean, I'm always trying to see there's a silver lining in everything. There really is a light and dark binary of all of the things that you get in the tarot. And yes, if you're getting the Tower, you have to go through the Tower. You have to live through it. You have to learn from it. And then you get to be the phoenix that rises from the ashes. Or if you're pulling the 5 of Pentacles, yeah, that landscape is devastated. You lost that thing. It's never going to be the same. And yet, look, you have an empty plot of land to put something else. What Ace of Pentacles are you going to plant there instead? So when it comes to challenging reads, I mean, I try to be as honest as humanly possible while also trying to say that, wouldn't you rather know? Right? Wouldn't you rather know that this is a possibility than instead of being blindsided, right? And being like, oh, I had no idea that was coming, right? And I've been trying to really, because we're living through some very challenging times.
Yes.
To say the very least. And like the very least. And, I was actually just talking to my therapist about it. But I will not read tarot cards in a vacuum. I will take into account what is going on externally, because it would be, again, very love and light spiritual bypassing to just be like, well, then manifest for yourself. No, we're manifesting in the America or the country that we live in, and you have to take that into account. So again, if we can't deal with what is challenging through a tarot card reading, then we certainly can't deal with what is challenging in reality. And so it's like, no, this is what you came for. And oftentimes I'll say I hold space for something that is painful, but you will be better off for it in the end. And when it comes to reading, just like my little personal feelings on reading about relationships, I find really interesting. The couples spread that I offer, both participants have to be there. I try not to read about somebody who isn't participating or hasn't given me their permission, right? Because witchcraft is so much about the permission, or to like not manipulate anybody's free will. And I still, of course, do. You know, there are people who want to talk about their spouses or want to talk about, and I'm always trying to kind of redirect. I'm always like, this is how it relates to you, right? Because you're the one sitting in front of me. But again, it's a magical tool, and it's like, wouldn't you rather know? Wouldn't you rather know that this person's a little exhausted with your whatever?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually do, or when I was doing relationship ones, and when I've done them in, like, for my friends and stuff, I try and do, like, opportunities, challenges, and, like, outlook kind of thing, as opposed to, like, I also don't have a read that involves a person that isn't there, just because I also feel like sometimes their energy isn't there, so it's like, you might be projecting what you think instead of, like, what they really think, you know?
Totally.
Good. I love that. That's a good tip.
Just a thought.
Yeah, no. I love it. We're always eternal students. We are.
Yeah, totally. Oh,
amen.
wait. I actually have another question that is similar. Sorry, Kate. Is that
No,
okay?
please. No, yes, we have so many questions for you.
Yay! I love questions.
Okay. Have you ever had someone say, like, that's not resonating for me? And if so, how do you handle it?
Oh my gosh. Okay. In all of my true humble glory, no, I haven't.
Congratulations.
The one
Amazing.
time, thank you.
Amazing.
The one time that I can like identify something like that was when I asked somebody about the Nine of Swords. I said, like, the cards are indicating to me that you are very, very anxious. And they said, that's not resonating for me. And I was like, okay, can you tell me why? And they said, well, I'm on a lot of antidepressants. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. Okay, good. Beta blockers. We love it.
Medicated. Great.
Yeah, we're medicated.
Okay.
Got it. And so that I chalked up to being like, well, that wasn't my fault. And then there was a time where somebody, because I also offer gift cards, and someone purchased a gift card for somebody. This like goes down in history as the hardest, least pleasurable experience I've had in starting my business. And we signed on because it was over Zoom, and they listened to me for like 2 minutes, and then they were like, I'm not interested in telling you anything about me, and I'm not interested in therapy. So why don't you just do what you do, and I'll just listen. And there was like a part of me that was like, I'm just going to close the computer. Like, if you don't want to be here, I certainly don't want to be here. And then I was like, no, I'm going to force this guy to listen to an hour of what I have to say, because even if one smidgen of it matters, maybe it'll matter. And if it doesn't, who cares? And so I did. I forced the guy to sit through the rest of the reading, having no other information. Yeah. And yeah.
You changed his life.
I hope so. He never came back. So clearly he was not pleased. But no, how do you deal with it? I mean, you know, it's an interesting thing, because it's really truly what resonates for people. And although, God, I feel very lucky and blessed to have never been really said that to. No, don't take it personal. Maybe, yeah. And you really don't know what truths someone is telling you. Mm-hmm. And so even, if somebody does feel a little like prickly about something I've said, I've gotten to a place where I trust myself enough to be like, I'm not letting this go. right? There's a reason it's here. And while they won't outright be like, that doesn't resonate, they might be like, oh, I'm not sure, right? What do you mean? And I'll just be like, I gotta bring it back. What are you know, I'm like thinking of like the Wheel of Fortune or the Emperor. It's like, what are you trying to control? The cards won't let it go. And so there's this, I think that there's a tender way of continuing to unpack something that somebody said doesn't resonate for them and flip it and not flip it on its head, right? Rewrite the script on it so that it is, they can understand it. And then, you know, I think there's a tender way of doing that I think is kind of helpful. Revisiting something that somebody is pushing back on is an interesting way to kind of, right, rediscover something about it.
Totally. It's not something that's happened in like my regular readings, but when we were doing those pop-ups where it was, you know, they were free, they were in a store, I think that a couple of the people I saw, there was only one person who really said, I don't get it. But I think she was looking for something specific, and I think that she thought I was a fortune teller, you know? Like,
yes. I mean, like, that is what's wild, is that a lot of times people will see it as fortune telling, and you're like, well, it is sort of got its roots in it. You know, it's like, that's not what this is. This is not what this is.
Yeah. I think she was looking for a yes or no, and I wasn't like.
Yeah,
I think
yes
I was
or no.
giving her like thoughts to think of or things to think about.
Exactly,
You know? Like,
which is what it really does, right? Yes or no's are so hard. Yes or no's are so hard. And yes, you can go through those 78 cards and start to like determine what would be a yes and what would be a no, but it's really not how they work, right?
Right.
There are oftentimes too, people will try and ask me for a timeline of something. And I mean, sometimes, right, you'll get a little bit of an idea of a timeline, but it's like, you have to remind people, it's like, this is based off of how you participate in your life. So I can't exactly tell you what the timeline is, right? I can't, because what if you do something different, or what if you choose to navigate this situation in a different way? That's not how they work. It's just not how they work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. We've talked about this before, that idea of being like, I forget the terms. People call it lots of different things, but passive versus active control in your life, viewing yourself as things that happen to you versus you make things happen. And of course, all the caveats in the world in terms of oppression and like systemic, discrimination and hardship and classism and all those things, and racism, things that exist, obviously, that are outside of our control. But in terms of your individual journey that people come to a lot for tarot, I think people love to think of themselves as just like a victim of fates, when they're really way more in control than they think they are.
Yeah. I mean, again, it makes me think of the Wheel of Fortune, which, while is way more complicated than I'm about to like sum it up in, but you know, I often will say, it's about cycles, it's about luck, it's about ending and beginnings, it's about all these things. But I always say to people, I'm like, it is ultimately about the fact that Lady Fortuna is the one that turns the wheel, right? And so if we're not in control of much of anything, the only thing we can control is ourselves. And sometimes we can't even control that. So when it comes to this idea of, do I make things happen or do things happen to me? The Wheel of Fortune is very much in that idea, because yes, externally, there are going to be things that you cannot control that are going to happen to you. But again, if you're on a wheel that over and over and over again, you keep bumping your head up against something that isn't working for you, then it's your job and your choice to step off of that wheel, right? So there is where those two things, like, kind of alchemize of the idea of, I can't control the external world. I cannot control people, places, and things. Sometimes I can control myself, but I mean, again, I'm bringing it back to sobriety. But if I wake up again after however many years saying, why did I drink that bottle of wine? At what point do I have to recognize that I am in control of myself to a certain extent? and step off a wheel that doesn't serve me anymore. And because it's such a complicated card, it's like, if you've only got one life to live, you have to make it the best damn deal it possibly can be, right? Because we don't know how many times we get to ride the wheel. So in that frame, I recognize that I have no control over many, many, many things. But the one thing, for the most part, that I can control is myself and how I participate in my life.
Ugh, I'm like getting
Boom.
emotional. That was so good.
Yeah.
I think on that note, we have to draw a card.
Molto bene.
Yes, please.
That was so good. I'm like,
Yeah,
about
now
to
that we
cry.
know that you have all the perfect interpretations of cards in the world, let's find one more. to talk
What a
about.
treat for us. What a treat to have a personalized one card reading from Sutton for us.
Oh my gosh,
right
I'm
now.
so excited. You know, sometimes people will ask me, how do you know when they're done? Like when you're done shuffling?
Like when the cards are cooked?
Ooh, that's a good
exactly.
question.
I love calling it cards are cooked. And, right? And I'm always like, I can hear it, right? It'll say I'm done or stop. Or sometimes I get like a little bit of a sick feeling in my stomach, right? And I can even intuitively sense when I'm almost there. So like I invite people to sit with their cards and listen to them, right? Listen to them when they say, I'm done, stop shuffling, don't do it anymore.
I totally barrel parry past that all the time. They're like, why are you still shuffling?
They're like, no, stop. That was the moment. Okay, we'll start over again. And the sound I made was because they were done really, really quickly, actually. I know. So we do get the 7 of Wands today.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh,
Yes.
Look at that.
Let's talk about it, honey. So wands are action, propulsion forward, energy. I always say make it, do it, be it, change it, create it. It doesn't matter. It is the energy we put towards these things. And the 7 of Wands is actually like a very mature card because we've learned through the 5 and the 6 a certain kind of lesson about how our energy gets output, what we fight for, how we get into conflict, how that's exhausting. That would be the 5. The 6 is like, wow, when I get into conflict and fight for everything, I'm victorious. That's so great. And then by the 7, you're like, wow, I don't like feeling in conflict all the time. I don't like when all of my energy goes to every single thing. I'm constantly outputting energy and I am exhausted and it is immature. So what I love about the 7 of Wands is that it's very much about energetic protection for me. Anything that shakes me to my core, I will fight for. Anything that is at risk of disturbing my structure, I fight for or against. And anything that doesn't, I'm backing off of it energetically. I'm not going to do it, right? I'm not doing it. And, because as you guys may have noticed, I'm a particularly active participant in politics and surprise. And because of astrologically what's going on and the moment that we're living in, I think that this is a really valuable lesson. What do we fight for and what we don't, right? And even in a day-to-day setting, I'm putting more energy to reading. I'm putting more energy to meditating, and I'm putting less energy to doom scrolling. I'm putting a ton of energy into calling my reps or signing petitions, but I'm putting less energy or no energy in like sitting and making myself scared, horrified, frustrated, because as long as I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing to try and change something that I can't control, right, by calling my reps and doing all the things that I need to be doing, I cannot 5 of Wands everything, which would be the active, fight towards every single thing at every single time. It's like the rest part of this, right, is so important. You have to back off of certain things energetically. You have to pull away and then fight and then pull away and then fight. So, and even not on a political, realm, it's in our day-to-day lives, what deserves my time and energy and what does not, right? And so I love the 7 of Wands. I think it's a very helpful card.
I love that. That's
Such a good interpretation.
such
too.
a good and relevant reading.
Yes, thank you,
Like,
Sutton.
My
yes,
pleasure.
the reminder that like enough is like doing enough is enough, and also to stop fucking doom scrolling.
Yes.
Don't doom scroll. Do not
Not
doom scroll.
helpful use of energy.
No,
Right.
fight
Right.
the good fight. Save your
Yes.
energy to fight the good fight.
I recently downloaded an app called Screen Zen, and there's so many apps out there, so like we're not affiliated with it, but it locks out. I can change all of the settings, but it locks me out from my social media apps. So, and then every time I want to check one, it makes me wait 5 seconds, and I can choose the message. So it can say, take a deep breath, or is this important, or why are you checking? And so I have a little mindfulness moment before I have to check. And then I can set the timer for how long I'm allowed to check. So right now I'm only allowed to check for 15 minutes at a time, which is really what I just do for marketing purposes. And then I get kicked out. So I have a 15-day
obsessed.
streak going right now. So.
I'm gonna download this app.
Yeah, it's Screen Zen. It's great. There's a bunch of other ones out there too, I'm sure, that do the same thing. It honestly has really helped. Today I was a little doom scrolly, but mostly it's really helped my mental health.
It happens sometimes, man.
Yeah.
And it is a really huge struggle when because I run my business off of
Yes.
my social media. And
Right.
so, but that's a little bit of an excuse. I was even talking to my husband about that today. I was like, yes, but I need it for business. It's like, no, at some point, post what you need to post, like what you need to like, share what you need to share, and then get out.
Yeah.
7 of Wands, that shit. Like, back off. Back
7
off.
of Wands.
Yeah, no,
Oh
I'm
my
the
God.
same. I'm always like, oh, well, I do a lot of internet stuff. It's like, not currently. Like, not while you're looking at, like, fucking
Yeah.
the third
Because
clip
you
of the
do
day
the-
from...
Yeah, you do the internet stuff, and then inevitably you're like,
And then you
oh
keep-
no, right?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of bad news, bad news,
It's
which
a
we
lot
have to
there.
be informed of. Yes, we cannot
Yeah.
pretend like this is not happening. This is
Right.
happening, everybody. But at some point, you have to protect your peace because you will not be able to fight if you are completely, again, going to bring it back to tarot. If you're in the 5 of Wands all the time,
Yes.
if you're fighting all the time, there is no fight left in you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You'll exhaust yourself. And you'll exhaust it while you're sitting at home on your couch before you ever actually get anything done, you know?
Yeah.
You
absolutely.
haven't even called your reps yet, and you're already exhausted.
Agreed. I highly recommend for those who are interested in staying involved. I've signed up for several. I really need to call it, but I have a lot of nonprofit orgs and like the ACLU or different human rights organizations. I get their emails, and so they'll break down what's happening. And then I also want to shout out and plug the Log Off by Vox, which is just at the end of the day at 5 p.m. every day. He focuses on one story from the administration that we should that like is important to know, that kind of cuts through all of the noise and like why it's important. This reporter has been covering Trump since his first presidency. So I like the Log Off because it just helps me kind of zero in on what's actually like what's a priority versus the countless barrage of chaos that this administration's like. So if you're in the US, yeah, definitely.
Wait,
follow those.
can I plug one too?
Please.
Everybody should download. Yes, again, this is for U.S. residents, obviously, and we're being very United States centric at the moment.
Sorry,
but-
guys.
No,
I think
sorry.
everyone
We're
in the world
drowning.
will understand why we're a little concerned.
And maybe be a little proud of us. I'm hoping, right? Just a little. Not for everything else, but maybe for this. This is called the 5 Calls app.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You put in your zip code. It will give you a script, and it'll show you exactly the names of your reps. And the script, it breaks down all the things that they are voting on currently, and then it gives you a script. So you read the script to the hotline or to your rep's office, and it's a really tangible way, again, to use your 7 of Wands, right? To be like, this is what I fight for. Then I back off for the day to read my book. And then the next morning I fight for this again. And then I back off and do some self-care or take care of myself somehow or take care of my kid or do all the other things I need to do. But I love the 5 Calls app.
Yes,
Nice.
it's so good. It makes it so easy. So speaking of shouting out things that make our lives easier, how can people connect with you? How can people get an actual like in-depth reading with you, follow you, connect with you?
Yeah, so I am Sutton Crawford on Instagram. My website is suttoncrawford.com. My email is suttoncrawfordtarot@gmail.com. And come for my Mindful Mondays where I pull a card for the week.
Yes.
And my Tarot Tuesdays to get a little guidance there. And you can email me, you can DM me to book a reading, but I am pretty attainable. I'm pretty open and not booking necessarily. Sometimes I book up pretty quickly, but I am easy to reach at any of those places.
Yes. And I think it's
Amazing.
amazing. Also want to make sure that if you ever are approached by an account that looks like one of our guests, like Sutton or past our other witches or tarot readers, and they say that they have a premonition or they want to connect with you, that is a spam account. Please block and report them.
Yes.
None of our guests, no esteemed practitioner will ever reach out to strangers to try and get their money. That is not how it works.
Hard
Just
and
need to say
fast
that.
rule that no reader or person who works in this world is going to reach out to you.
Yeah.
You have to reach out to them.
Yep.
Yeah, no legitimate. Yeah, it like no legitimate person is gonna try and.
It's happened now like
that bullshit.
5 different times.
Oh, that sucks. It's weird that I understand why, but it is so
Scams.
prevalent in like the modern witchcraft world for whatever
really
reason.
is.
And it really hurts people like you who are like genuine, real, thoughtful, learned practitioners. I think it perpetuates this harmful stereotype. And yeah, I really hate these kind of scammers. Right now I'm like really angry because there's TikTok accounts that just steal Selena Fox's videos, who's like this wonderful, beautiful elder, like Wiccan elder, and then puts out like, oh, use this sound, or there's a message coming through for you, and it's like a complete spam account just using her image as if it's her. And so I comment on all of them like, this is a spam account. I'm sure it get deleted, but
It's such a bummer.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
bummer.
come on, guys, we're trying our best here. Well, anyway, that was just a little soapbox moment.
I liked it.
We will post and tag Sutton on our Instagram at Witchcast Podcast. We will have links to everything that we discussed today on our website at witchcastpodcast.com. And of course, please do email us as well at witchcastpodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing about your stories, or if you have a certain topic or guest you'd like us to showcase or bring on, please reach out to us. We love to hear it. And, if you like us, if you like this episode, if you like Sutton, please give us a little, well, first hire her, and then give us a little 5-star review and a little, rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out.
A few clicks is all it takes.
Today, you can save 2 lonely witches from fading into obscurity. Anything else, Em?
That hot Wiccans in your area, I guess.
We're not Wiccan.
We're not Wiccan. I don't know why I was just trying to make it.
But we are hot. We're very hot.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
We're also not in the same area, so.
That's right.
I think that's everything. Yeah, hit us up with a little review. It makes our day, and it makes it easier for other people to find us. And until next time,
Hex yeah!
'Cause it's Witchcast.